Welcome back to the Hot Mess Diaries. I'm Tash and I'm so excited to be in your ears again. I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who listened to the first episode of the Hot Mess Diaries and a big apology because we did not get onto regular scheduling right off the bat, which was my full intention, but I'm a hot mess and just didn't work out that way. But here we are, and I'm so grateful for you guys waiting for the next episode. Thank you so much to everyone who's reached out. We are going to have the best time as hot messes together. I have had a really hectic couple of weeks. I feel really like I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying so hard to be the best version of myself that I can be, but it feels like everything I touch is turning to shit and it is a struggle. I was so excited a few weeks ago. I had so many brand deals and I was so excited and I was like, wow, this is actually, working out for me. And then this one day in particular, I feel like it just set the tone for the next few weeks. I was like, I'm going to put this whole day as a brand deal content day. And the first deal that I had to do kind of revolved around my hair being wet, styling my hair. So I thought I'll do that one first because then I can make myself look pretty in the duration of that content and then we'll be ready to go for the rest of it. Then I was like, you know what, I'll dye my hair because I have black hair and blah, 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 blah. We've heard this story 1,000 times about how much I hate my black hair. And I was like, I'll do my roots. So I did my roots, went to wash it out, and there was no hot water in my house. So I freaked out. I chucked my robe on, and with hair dye still in my hair, I pulled out of my driveway and literally almost hit a dog to the point where I couldn't see the dog. It was that close to my car. So I chucked my hazards on, I jumped out of the car, and then there were 3 dogs and they were just bolting down my street. And it's a really busy street, very windy and definitely not safe for dogs. So I chased after these dogs in my dressing gown with hair dye in my hair for a good 30 minutes. I only was able to get one of the dogs. Then I was like, I need to actually go wash this hair dye out of my hair because it's going to fry off. So I drove to my boyfriend's mum's house. I used her shower and then I started to film the content there because it included me drying my hair. And then I couldn't see the back of my hair though in her bathroom. So I was like, you know what? I'm almost done. I'm going to go home, make sure the back of my hair is okay before I finalize the content, and then go back to her house to finalize it. I go back to my house and I'm blow waving my hair with the blow wave brush at the back and I fully get it stuck. So stuck, I could not get it out and no one else was home. So I had to wait for almost an hour for my boyfriend to come home and help me get this out of my hair. And we lost a big chunk of hair over there. And then we had to drive back to his mum's house to finish the content. And by this point it was 5 p.m. and I'd only filmed one piece of content. So then I was chasing my tail for that for quite some time and everything just seemed really scary. So that's what you get when a hot mess decides to be a content creator. Nothing goes right. So it's been hectic, to say the least. And I'm only just now getting my head above water. But at the end of the day, I'm loving what I'm doing. And it's fun. And it's content. So we'll just smile about that. But for this episode, I thought it would be really, really fun to go through what is a hot mess and do we enable ourselves to be hot messes? Oh, is this our fault and can we change it? So I'm going to Google what is the definition of a hot mess and see if we agree. Okay, oh gosh. So first up, we've got drunk Barbie images. So I'll show that to you guys if you're looking on YouTube or on Spotify video, and if the light decides to work, which it's not, so actually just ignore everything I just said. There's some photos of drunk Barbie, and the dictionary.com describes a hot mess as a particularly disorganized person or a chaotic situation. In some users, a person described as a hot mess is attractive but just barely keeping it together. Okay, I wonder if Urban Dictionary has anything better. Hot mess. When one's thoughts or appearance are in a state of disarray, but they maintain an underbuttoned... Blah, 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 blah. Let's try that again. When one's thoughts or appearance are in a state of disarray, but they maintain an undeniable attractiveness or beauty. And then a state of disarray. So chaotic that it's dizzying to look at. A mess that is beyond the normal range of disarray. Visual clutter that draws attention to itself. An attractive person, generally female, that repeatedly engages in situations which could negatively impact her social, mental, societal, or legal reputation. Okay, cool. Yep. So I feel like I agree with some of that, but I don't know if I agree with all of it. I don't necessarily agree with the disorganization, because I am quite an organized person. I feel. Actually, am I though? Like, I feel like I'm quite organized, and I feel like I set myself up for success, but it's always something along the way that is like magnetized to me that decides to interrupt any intention I have of being successful. For example, I'm like, you know what, cool, for my content, I think this is the best content to tick off the list, because then for the rest of the day, I will look good rather than having to do that one last and have to do it all again. Anyway, I feel like I have that organized mindset where I can realize that that's the best option for me, but something along the way decides to mess up. I can't control that we had no hot water. That's not my fault. The part light went out. I didn't know that. I don't know anything to do with hot water. Does anyone here actually know what to do if the hot water runs out? Because I didn't. So, not my fault. A dog running in front of my car, not my fault. I did get my blow wave brush stuck in my hair, but that was really random. I've blow waved my hair with that brush thousands of times and it's never happened. But it was one of those days. So maybe, that's a good example. So many events led me to feeling my own sense of disarray that maybe when I was blow waving my hair, I was careless, and that contributed to it being one extreme to the next. Who knows? But I wouldn't necessarily say hot messes are disorganized. I feel like there's something about us that attracts chaos. Whether or not that's a good thing, I do not know. But there are many days that I wish I was not a hot mess, and now I've decided to make it a brand. So, I've given up on that, obviously. But do we enable it? As a hot mess, do we enable it? You know how, people have pheromones? Is there like a specific pheromone that hot messes have that attract chaos? Or is that just me being crazy, and am I just blind to the fact that I'm literally stupid and allow these things to happen to me? But in saying that, I know other girls who are hot messes, and I look at them and I say, yep, you do that to yourself. Like, you allowed for those circumstances to occur. Of course this happened. Of course you're a hot mess. But when I look at myself, I don't know if I agree. And so I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Do you think we enable ourselves? Are you a hot mess yourself, and do you enable the lifestyle? I don't think there's anything wrong with it other than the fact that it is chaotic and difficult and time-consuming. But it's fun. I feel like I can go anywhere and always have a really great story to tell. No one knows what's going to come out of my mouth because they are not a hot mess like me. So, is it a bad thing? Do we enable it? I'm unsure. Okay, so I decided to Google how to not be a hot mess to see if there were actually things that we could do to stop this lifestyle, or whether or not it's just who we are as people. Now, it seems to be that there's a really popular Buddhist book about how to not be a hot mess. So if you're interested in that, have a look at it, I guess. But then I'm also just reading this website, Susan Hyatt, and it says how not to be a hot mess, meditate, eat less, go to your local salon. I feel like I could do all these things and I'd decide to go for a walk one day and probably get like my head mauled off by a magpie. You can't control these things. There's nothing you can do to control it. So I feel like that's a really interesting topic that I would like to know what you guys think. So I'll put a poll on Spotify and ask whether or not you think hot messes enable themselves, or whether or not it's just who they are as people attracts chaos. But at the end of the day, if you are a hot mess, let's embrace it. It's fucking fun, and I could not think of anything worse than being boring. And if you are judging anyone for being a hot mess, kindly stop. That's all from me on this Wednesday. Have the best day, guys. Please make sure to like this video. If you're watching it on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're on Spotify, please download, share, post stories of you listening to it on Instagram. Get the word out there. Let's collect all these hot messes together and have the best time. And if you guys have anything you'd like to send in for any Dear Diary submissions, please do so. You can do that to my email address. You can do it on Instagram. And I am so excited to continue this journey. And thank you for your patience while we got back to regular programming on the second episode. So fingers crossed from here, guys. Love you.